Today we're here with Elizabeth Snyder at Main Street Financial Partners in Gilbertsville, Pennsylvania. Elizabeth, can you tell me a little bit about how you got started at Main Street Financial Partners and you decided to specialize in senior insurance and Medicare?
Absolutely. I started my career as a real estate agent, and although I loved it and succeeded in it, I wanted to diversify and expand my brokership, so to speak, into the insurance and the real estate and together, bring them together. And so I got my license years ago in insurance. When I got my license, I worked for a company that specialized kind of in the senior market for a couple of months and saw a great chasm and need because a third of our nation, Patty, is Medicare eligible beneficiaries, which means that though that sector of our nation has to go through very specific world of Medicare, and there was a lack of understanding from the Social Security Department that enrolls people to how the whole Medicare explanation of Part A and Part B is given to the general masses. And so therefore I just saw a niche, and it has just been unbelievably powerful that my agency specializes in this Medicare niche. So it's just been a great need in our nation for people to get that information clearly, decisely, and correctly.
Right, and the population is growing, correct?
Absolutely, and you probably have heard or understand that there was a great boom of babies called the baby boomers, and there are 10,000 seniors a day coming into the Medicare market.
Wow.
Not to mention that there is also something that's imploding the Medicare market, which we can talk about or hit on, and that is the people that are coming off of group insurance, which has been probably doubled in the last year due to Obamacare coming into group.
Speaking of Obamacare, I know things are a little bit confusing in some people's eyes and even a bit overwhelming. So Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, known as Obamacare, and Medicare are two different worlds of insurance. Should we be concerned with Obamacare affecting Medicare?
Interesting that you say that, because I just wrote an article for that very question that you just asked me this month, and you are exactly right. Obamacare and Medicare are two totally different sectors of insurance. However, Obamacare is most certainly affecting Medicare in this way. More and more people, last year, December 1st, 2013, was the first time that group insurance is now being rated in two different ways it has never been rated before. One is they are differentiating between a smoker and a non-smoker, so those who smoke are going to have a higher premium. The second way is that for the first time since December 1st, 2013, group insurance is age banding the employees within the group. So a 60 to a 65-year-old person is going to cost the employer a lot more money per month for the same insurance that it would cost like a 40-year-old or a 35. Consequently, employers are looking to either find a way to cut those benefit costs to each company, and sadly enough, they are wanting to get their older people either off the group coverage or get them to a point that they retire, or sometimes even I see a lot offering benefit packages. The bottom line is that they're trying to reduce the cost in the employer's business by getting these older people off the group. So like no other time, I feel, in America, people are coming off the group at that age and coming into the Medicare world, even if they still work or the employer is trying to age them out.
Right. Okay, that's a shame, especially if you have a good, solid employee. And so what you're saying is early retirement packages then are sometimes directly related to the benefit cost.
Absolutely. I could give you many examples just in the last couple days where people have gotten early retirement packages because they want to get these older people off their censuses on these employer groups. And I'm going to tell you that there's a direct correlation between the people that are getting packages or people that their departments are saying that, we no longer need you, because a 60 to 65-year-old person that has a spouse on that group insurance is costing anywhere from 18 to 2,000 to 2,200 a month.
Wow.
Which is a lot of money for an employer.
Absolutely. So, that being said, how can you help employees and employers when considering early retirement packages?
There's several things. First of all, it gets a little complicated in the nuances of Medicare, but generally speaking, people who work for employers, such as in our area, like Drug Plastics or DECA, the battery company, that have more than 20 employees that they employ, those people who are 65 and above that could qualify as a Medicare beneficiary, if they want to continue working, they can do so without activating their Part B of Medicare. However, they're costing the employer a lot of money. So the employer, though, cannot discriminate to those employees by saying, hey, you're 65 and above, you could go on the Medicare. They can't discriminate and say, look, we want you off our rolls. But the employee, if they're savvy and they understand how this works, they could go to the employer and say, look, why don't I go off straight to Medicare? It'll save you money. I get better insurance, and they can save as much as $20,000 a year going straight to Medicare, which really helps the employer. But remember, the employer can't approach the employee. That would be discrimination. But the employee could go to the employer and say, let's work this out. I'll go off onto Medicare. I'll continue to work. You save a lot of money. I get better insurance. And then we don't skew the group, because remember that the group is getting renewals based on the amount of people that are in that higher age band. So the more people that you can take off, 65 and above, that qualify for Medicare, the group as a whole is going to get better renewal rates.
Okay, that's good to know. So do some employers sometimes go to an employee and say, we're going to give you a package, even though that might be illegal? Do you find that happens?
No, they can't do that.
Okay,
that's why it's so important that Medicare beneficiaries understand that, the sad truth is this is happening. So why people who are 65 and above, that defines a Medicare beneficiary, or who are on Social Security disability, and some of those people may still continue to work part-time. Usually if you're disability, you're not working, but those people that understand what's going on can get information from people like us, what it's going to cost to go off the group and go directly to Medicare.
Got it.
Then they can approach the employer and say, look, I'm going to voluntarily come off the group because it's going to be a lot less money. And that's going to save the employer
So it's
all
a
those
win-win.
benefits. It's a win-win all the way around.
Okay. So that being said, what are the most important issues when considering Medicare options that you can think of?
The most important considerations are that the Medicare world is a world in and of itself, and although very murky, a lot of people don't understand it, it will be, bar none, the best insurance you'll ever have in your life.
Yes.
People don't realize that. And when I say that, that means then that you get to somebody that understands, because there's a lot of Medicare plans out there. And the plans that typically people get the most knowledge about, like their aunt has this, somebody at church would have that, or what's on the market, is not necessarily where they should be or the right plan. So it really makes a difference when you get to somebody that understands Medicare, that can carry everything out there and explain which insurance is really going to cover me the best. And I am telling you, Patty, that people don't realize that if they get on the right side of Medicare, they can have insurance that is far less than what the masses get on the market, get told about. It's a lot less money. You will, with a Medigap insurance that comes from the federal government, Medicare itself, people can actually have insurance for under $200 a month, sometimes all the way down under $150, that will never have a copay, never have a deductible, can go to any hospital and any doctor, and never needs a referral. So we have to get the mindset out, first of all, that what Medicare, the federal government, socialistic, in a sense, healthcare system, is not less insurance. It's very powerful and great, and if people understand that and get the right information, they will find that that'll be the best insurance of their life, even better than group.
Wow, that's good to know. So it sounds like it's really about educating yourself.
Exactly.
So tell us a little bit about what our viewers should know about the Medicare enrollment period in October.
The Medicare enrollment period in October is called annual open enrollment, and that runs each year from October 15th to December 7th. That is the time in which people who have Medicare Advantage plans, or really any plan out there, can evaluate and determine whether or not they would like to change their insurance. So a lot of people don't realize that in the Medicare world, all the insurance that you can possibly buy is coming down to two simple categories. It's either a government Medigap policy whose benefits do not change each year, or it's a private insurance plan called a Medicare Advantage plan. The Advantage plan people can only change their insurance twice a year. That is through the annual open enrollment period time, and a lot of people do not realize that there's a second period of time in the Medicare world called Medicare Advantage disenrollment period that runs from January 1st to February 14th. Okay, so that, again, there is a lot of nuances and times in Medicare, and people do not realize that there are so many more rights, entitlements, benefits, and periods and ways to get your insurance that the most of the masses don't realize. Again, it's just really important to have your information.
Exactly. It sounds like you've got a wealth of knowledge, which is good. So I hear you're going to be opening an office in Bethlehem soon. Is that right?
We are. We're opening
exciting.
up. Very exciting.
Yeah.
We're actually opening up a secondary office in Bethlehem. Of course, you know that our office here, we do financials, and we actually specialize in senior insurance. So although I don't work for Medicare, the federal agency, CMS, which is known as Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, our agency is set up to be specializing, and it's a very disjointed system. So basically, we don't pretend, Patty, to be everything to all people, but Medicare and Medicare insurance, we specialize in, and we know the ins and outs of how people enroll in Medicare, what Medicare entails, all about Part A and Part B, and then we carry all the insurance in Pennsylvania and 37 other states that people can possibly buy to go along with their Part A and B of Medicare.
Excellent, excellent. We're running out of time here. We'd love to talk a little bit more. So, if you have parents or loved ones that need help in this area, or you yourself are reaching retirement age, please give Elizabeth Snyder a call at Main Street Financial Partners. Can you just give us your telephone number and your website?
Absolutely. Our telephone number is 800-862-7364. And that one number goes to all our offices. We have some satellite offices around the area too. We have one in Westchester. We have one in Souderton. We have the new one opening in Bethlehem, and of course the one here in Gilbertsville. And our website is www.mainstreetfinancialpartners.com. Long, but
MainStreetFinancialPartners.com.
Yes.
Got it. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. This was quite informative. Thanks for being our guest today.
Absolutely. Thank you, Patty.
Thank you for joining us for the 422 Business Show. If you too would like to be featured, have your business featured on the show, please give me a call, Patty Siegel, at 610-323-6253. Thank you very much.